I'm 24 female and have been dating my boyfriend, 26, for 5 years now. We grew up together as neighbors and were friends for a couple of years before dating. I love him so much and I want to marry him. His family is great and I adore them all, and he's great with my family too. He also formed a great relationship with my sister, 21. The issue is that I think their bond is too close. My boyfriend and I live together, but he spends a lot of time with her. Albeit I'm sort of busy. I'm currently in grad school for engineering, so I have to go to my classes. My boyfriend works full-time. My sister is currently taking a gap year, but that 1 year has extended since she was 18. She comes over when I'm in seminars and classes. They have tons of inside jokes and share the same sense of humor and taste in movies. It makes me feel left out, but when I try to include myself, they both stop being so enthusiastic and act like it's super awkward to have me there. My sister and I were close growing up, but started drifting when I went to uni. When my boyfriend isn't there and I talk to her, she becomes kinda cold and sometimes says rude things. Once she told me to my face that I was not good enough for him and that he deserved better, which made me cry for a couple of days. He also gets her gifts for the most random achievements, like he got her a present for making it through the week, even though she doesn't do anything. She isn't currently working or trying to pursue a hobby or interest. She's just taking it easy, her own words. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad my boyfriend and my sister are friends, but my major problem is that my boyfriend tells her everything. Literally everything. He tells her things he doesn't tell me and talks to her about me and our relationship. She knows all our issues and good parts to a level of detail that I wouldn't even tell my closest friends or parents. She even knows the grades I got on my midterms and finals and what I think about my manager. I work part-time to contribute to our apartment, but I also get paid for my research, which goes towards our needs as well, which I feel is unnecessary for her to know since I didn't tell her myself. I asked him to step back and stop telling her things about me and our relationship, but he was shocked and told me that I was an idiot for even requesting it. Now I feel guilty. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. They're both grossly out of line and are at a minimum having an emotional affair. Kick them both to the curb. I don't see how this is salvageable. You are the third wheel in your own relationship, and your sister is hoping to make hooking up with him a thing. Not the idiot. My two sisters had a similar situation. While the oldest sister was at work, the youngest was banging her baby's dad at her older sister's house. What makes this worse is that my older sister and her boyfriend just dealt with the passing of my 1-year-old nephew. Also, instead of being gracious and kind like OP's boyfriend, he was very rude to my younger sister in front of people. OP, buy a Nest Cam or Nanny Cam. I am very aware recording people without their consent is wrong on so many extreme levels. I get it, but if you bring it up with no proof, he's just gonna get mad at you for assuming and probably use that to either dump you for her, or he sees you got goals, which means future income, and she doesn't. No surprise if the plan is to marry you, enjoy your future wages, and keep your sister as a side piece. Honestly, I'm so sorry. This sucks hard, but your sister's attitude towards you is the final telltale. By the way, be mentally prepared. If they are having an affair behind your back, be ready if he just leaves you for her, and now he's your brother-in-law. Knock on wood that doesn't happen, but just don't be blindsided is all. Update. Thank you all for your responses and advice. You've literally made me reconsider everything that I thought I knew. The consensus is that something shady is going on with my boyfriend and my sister, which just makes me want to vomit. I'm now reading into every interaction and conversation, and I feel so naive for not noticing the red flags. I'm going to take your guys' suggestions and set up some nanny cams in my apartment. Either way, it'll be good security. If nothing happens, then it'll be reassuring. And if something does happen, well, I'll deal with that after. I'm going to drive to the store right now and pick up the cameras. My 29 male friend Danny, 32, has been hung up on our friend Gwen, 30, for almost 10 years. Sadly for him, Gwen always turns him down when he makes a move. Danny does date other girls when Gwen's in a relationship or is dating a guy, but the moment she's free, he immediately goes back to her. I've talked to Gwen before and asked her what she thinks about Danny, since he carries a torch for her, and she told me that she's not attracted to him physically, nor does she like his sad boy personality. Gwen even told me that her dad likes Danny for her because he's kind and financially stable. But Gwen told her dad that even though she knows she will have a comfortable life with Danny, she doesn't have any feelings for him. Gwen recently broke up with her ex, and as usual, Danny is energized and thinks this is his chance. He has been messaging her a lot and asked me for help with calligraphy to make a card to go with the flowers he wants to send her. I told him to slow it down because it's just been a month since the breakup, and we know Gwen took it hard. She's on therapy, so maybe this is not the best time to try to woo her. Danny was insistent and thinks that if he's there for Gwen at her lowest, she will realize that he's the one who has never left her side. I told Danny, but dude, you haven't left her side for 10 years. If she was going to have feelings for you, don't you think it would have happened already? I told him that honestly, I think he should find someone who likes him for who he is, instead of waiting for Gwen, who has made it clear that she doesn't want anything romantic from him by turning him down multiple times in 10 years, and who is currently not emotionally available anyway. Danny got angry and said that he thought I would be more supportive and that I should be building him up instead of tearing him down as his friend. He hasn't spoken to me since then. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. The lady has said no and no repeatedly. Your friend needed the reality check and needs to back off. In my opinion, carrying a torch for someone in this manner isn't romantic. It's borderline obsessive. The longer Danny pines for a woman who has made her intentions clear, the more damage he'll do to the relationship and the more damage he'll do to his own mental health. Not the idiot. You did the right thing. Danny should have moved on years ago. This reeks of nice guy energy. Also, he shouldn't be using other women as distractions while Gwen is dating someone. I would give Gwen a heads up about the card and flowers. She's in therapy. She doesn't need this right now. Maybe it's time you both evaluated your friendship with Danny. OP, when I was younger, I had a male friend who liked me. I knew he liked me, but it made it clear I was not interested in dating him multiple times. And one day, a mutual friend came up to me and told me I needed to stay away from him. At first, I thought she was just protective, but then she was like, "No, girl, he's obsessed with you. Stay away from him." She was younger than me, so I thought she was silly. I later found out that he had drawings he'd made of me and pictures of our Facebook messages printed out and hung across his room. So be that girl for your friend, dude. I know you're a man, but it's time to be that girl. Me, 26 female, and my boyfriend, 28, have been together for almost 4 years. Over the years, we have spent extended periods with both of our families. We try to alternate major holidays with each family, as visiting both of them requires travel. We also try to split time during summer trips as well. 2 summers ago, we spent about 10 days with his family at their lake property. It was very relaxing and a great getaway for us. There was one minor hang-up though. My boyfriend's grandparents were at the lake property, and my boyfriend asked that I dress respectfully around them. Now, I take a lot of pride in my body and spend a lot of time and effort to keep it looking good, so I like to show it off. I wear skimpy bikinis and have piercings. Sue me. My boyfriend didn't try to stop me from wearing those while we were swimming or on the boat, but he did ask that I at least wear sports bras or something to cover up while around his family. For the most part, I did, but there were a few times where it was just too hot or uncomfortable to wear a bra, and I would just not wear one under a crop top or whatever I had on. My boyfriend called me out on it afterward and told me he had family members ask him about it, but I just shrugged it off. Well, this year, we decided to spend Labor Day with my family. We rented a cabin and I was really looking forward to it, until a stunt my boyfriend pulled. He needed to buy a new swimsuit since his was getting old. Now, my boyfriend is not a big clothes or fashion guy, so I was surprised when he told me he ordered a swimsuit from a trendy online store he heard about. I didn't know that he ordered a swimsuit with an incredibly short inseam that was also very, very tight. The first time he tried them on, I could literally see everything. Like, even though everything was technically covered, there was nothing left to the imagination. I told him there was no way he was going to wear that around my family. He said they were comfortable, he liked them, and didn't want to go out shopping for anything else. I told him there would be kids there, and he literally looks like a sausage. I asked him if this was some petty revenge for me not wearing a bra around his family 2 years ago, and he got angry with me for insinuating that. He told me he wanted to try something new and fun and had no idea the shorts would fit the way that they do. But that doesn't change that he likes them and feels confident in them. I told him to buy a new pair, but he refused. Every time he wore them over the weekend, someone in my family brought it up. I don't think anyone has ever said anything directly to my boyfriend, but I got asked about it. When we got home, I told him how disappointed I was that he didn't respect my family or me enough to at least attempt covering up. He won't really talk to me about it right now, and he keeps telling me I'm an idiot about it. I go to the gym and take care of my body. My boyfriend does not. He's out of shape and has a beer belly, and the shorts he brought do not do him any favors regarding flattery. So, am I the idiot here? You are the idiot. You did exactly what your boyfriend did. You wore things that were revealing and left nothing to the imagination, just like your boyfriend did. How did you think this would turn out exactly? You deserve what you got, and you're so condescending it's hilarious. Karma's a witch. OP also insulted her boyfriend's appearance, so that also makes her a major idiot. OP told her boyfriend that he looked like a sausage and then continued to insult his appearance here, and that seems to be the only reason why she has a problem with him not covering up. OP, you are the idiot. Go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Honestly, I think this guy is brilliant, and I applaud his long game here. You pretty much told him to buzz off when he asked you to cover up in front of his family, and then you have the stones to get upset because he does the same in front of yours? Some people can't see their hypocrisy. You are the idiot. So just because you are in shape means you can wear skimpy revealing clothes, but because your boyfriend's body isn't to your in shape standards, you get to tell him what to wear? He asked you not to wear revealing clothes around his family, but you ignored him and did it anyway. But you made a huge deal when he did it. Do you not see the double standard? My parents divorced when I was a baby. My mom met her husband when I was a toddler and married him a few years later. My stepfather was relatively well off, and he couldn't have kids of his own because of childhood cancer. So he poured a lot of the fatherly stuff into me and hoped I would one day be his daughter. He even offered my dad money to make his life better if he'd step aside and let him adopt me. My dad said no. He was poor. He always had been, and so had my mom when they were together. I might not have had as much at my dad's as I had at my mom's, but he always made sure I had a good meal. I always had a warm bed, and he made sure he was there for me. So I am close to my dad, but I always felt detached from my stepfather. It felt like he was offended that I loved my dad, that I wouldn't choose him over my dad when he could buy me anything I wanted. My mom encouraged me to let him take over some of the fatherly stuff. Like when my art class had a Father's Day event, she wanted me to invite my stepfather instead of my dad sometimes. Or she wanted me to put an effort into a handmade card for him instead of my dad for many years because she said my dad already knew I loved him. But my stepfather needed to know that too, and he put a lot into me. My dad wouldn't care if I didn't do anything for him. I'm now 24 and I'm getting married next year. My stepfather offered to pay for my wedding. I turned him down. I said it was appreciated, but we wanted to pay for everything ourselves. He then told me he should be the father of the bride, since he offered and could afford to pay for my wedding, where my dad would probably show up looking like a hobo. My mom said he had a point. I told them my dad is and always will be my dad, and I won't let them push him out. I said we will not speak much in the future if they can't accept that and stop. They think I was rude and hurtful, and I should be more appreciative when he did a better job of providing for me than my dad did over the years. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot at all. It's your wedding and you're paying for it, so you get to choose how it's organized. Unfortunately, your stepfather and your mom seem to equate money with love and respect. It's also a shame that they feel it's okay to denigrate your biological father based on what clothes he might wear to your wedding. I think you did the right thing by explaining yourself as you did. Your stepfather is definitely an idiot, though. Your relationship with your father sounds great. Stepdad is obviously jealous. Maybe if he and your mother's plans hadn't been so excluding to your father, the two of them could have walked you down the aisle. You are not the idiot. Your mom is projecting whatever issues she had with your father onto you, and she spent the better part of 2 decades trying to create an Insta family for her wealthy husband because he couldn't have bio kids. You are doing the right thing here. However, you might want to learn the art of hanging up or walking away if they continue to broach the topic. If they're right and your dad shows up looking like a hobo, who cares? He could be in ripped up dirty sweatpants, and that doesn't take away from the fact that you want him to have that role in your wedding. You love him for him, not his money. You weren't rude. Their attempts to buy your love are driving you away. If they can't see that by now, that's on them. Some important details. My wife is very shy, but enjoys giving and is all gung-ho about showing appreciation to workers she assumes aren't appreciated or recognized. She tries to pass these beliefs onto our kids. Although she's too shy to show her appreciation, she does it through gifts, usually baked goods. I've been embarrassed about it in the past. Our oldest rode the bus for the first time. My wife was waiting at the stop with our daughter and had her hand the bus driver a bag of homemade cookies. Then when she picked her up from the stop in the afternoon, she gave a bag to the afternoon driver. I asked why she did that, when she could easily have just said thank you and left it at that. She said the bus drivers work so hard to comfort all the nervous kids and handling the misbehaved ones while driving. They deserve more than a thanks. I reminded her that this had embarrassed me in the past, and I think that her behaviors are too extreme. I wouldn't want gifts from someone I don't know. She ignored how I felt. I contacted some people in my life to see if I was just the crazy one here, and most of my friends and my mom agree. My wife's way of showing thanks makes everybody uncomfortable. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You're embarrassed by your wife giving out cookies as a thank you? That's a weird thing to get embarrassed about, having a thoughtful, considerate, kind wife. And just to add, thank goodness your kid has the kindness of your wife as a counterexample to your behavior. Not only are you unnecessarily making an act of kindness about yourself, but you are also shaming your wife to friends and family. I would hate to be married to a man who wants to crush my kindness and embarrass me in front of others. Be a better person. This made me so sad. I'm also shy, but I like to get people small gifts or make baked goods. My inner mind constantly tells me, they're gonna think you're weird. Everyone hates you and thinks you're weird. But I try to say to myself that I'd rather have people think I'm weird when I have good intentions than never try to be kind. It's mostly been met with positivity, but it makes me very sad to know that OP and his friends and family think it's inappropriate. The most common misogynistic thing I hear from bigoted idiots is, I checked with a bunch of people because I need to invalidate/gaslight/humiliate/control you, and they all say I'm right. You are a controlling idiot, and I bet a whole lot of money on the fact that you married a quiet, submissive woman because you thought you could control her. You are the idiot. Grow up. Everyone is him and his family of origin. I'm not really getting how everyone in the comments fails to see that OP and his family are the centers of the universe, and the only thing that matters is how things make them feel. You are the idiot, OP. I feel so bad for your wife on so many different levels. I hope in time she gains the confidence and self-love to realize she deserves better than this in life.